Okay, Enzo Cavallo asks, at what stage of the bridge is the concept that if you get sick or something bad happens to you introduced? I'm asking because I guess you need to be already brainwashed to accept BS like that. Um, so I guess what you're saying is, at what point is the concept of personal responsibility for being sick or ill or having accidents or injuries introduced to you? And that can be introduced actually very early on. There is a course called the Ups and Downs in Life course, which is about, having your ups and downs, having a roller coastery, emotionally, tumultuous, what's the word, I guess, tumultuous life, right? You're up, you're down, you're here, you're there. That supposedly comes from being connected to a suppressive, or having a suppressive element in your life or influence, right? Somebody who's pushing you down, keeping you down. And there is some degree of truth to that, I suppose. I mean, it's no fun when you're in an abusive relationship or have people who are invalidating you or telling you how horrible or awful you are all the time, or gaslighting you or whatever. So sure, let's get those elements out of your life. So that's kind of how it's introduced early on. Is it does not present it to you as this BS sort of thing. It's presented as, hey man, you got influencers, you got people influencing you in your life who are not good for you. You got toxic relationships. You got things you should, maybe it's better if you call some of these people out of your existence. Maybe you'd have a better life. And the principle of how a suppressive can spiritually interbulate you, upset you, stir you up, and how that can cause you to be out of focus, to lose your flow, to lose attention, to be, caught up in the problems and turmoil of it, so that you make mistakes. You're not fully there. You're not really on track. So you are going to run into things. You might have accidents. You might even be predisposed to getting sick if it's stress related or anxiety related. And again, this has actual roots in real truth. People who have high stress and anxiety levels can be predisposed to, can be more susceptible to illness or flu or injury or something. So this is how it's sort of explained, so that it does make sense. And it's not just like, oh, well, that's crazy. Because they take all that and they explain all that, and it sort of sounds all rational and reasonable. And then they push it just a little bit further and tell you, well, actually, spiritually, you are fully responsible for your existence and all the things that happen to you. And they're not given to you again on day one. Okay, they'll give you all the, it's baby steps, right? It's spoon fed. Take a little bit in, you take a little bit in, you take a little bit in, and then it seems a lot more reasonable sounding that you would say, oh yeah, well, I should be the one who's fully responsible for my life and all the things that happen to me, because that puts me in the driver's seat and enables me to be cause in my life. And that way I can take control and I can be the boss. And it opens the door to that possibility. See, if you accentuate the positive aspects of that belief rather than the negative aspect of it, which is, really how it's used when it becomes abusive. But if you first teach it, emphasizing the positive, then the person only has that part in mind, and they don't see the negative connotations or consequences of that. Hope that explains that or helps with that. Okay.